The question of whether Jesus of Nazareth was a real historical person is one of the most profound mysteries in history. For billions, he is a divine figure, the cornerstone of their faith. But for a growing number of historians and researchers, the evidence for his existence is surprisingly thin, leading to the theory that he may be a mythological figure rather than a man who walked the earth. This idea, often called the Jesus myth theory, proposes that Jesus was not a historical person, but a literary or mythological creation, similar to other dying and rising savior gods known in the ancient Mediterranean world. This perspective challenges the very foundation upon which Christianity was built. On the other side of this intense debate are the majority of biblical scholars, including many non-religious academics, who maintain that a historical Jesus did exist. They argue that while the figure in the Gospels is heavily mythologized, there was a real man at the core of the stories. This man was likely a Jewish apocalyptic preacher who gathered a following and was executed by the Romans. For these scholars, the existence of a massive religious movement that emerged in the first century is the strongest evidence that a charismatic founder must have started it all. The debate is not about whether the miracles happened, but whether the man himself ever lived. The core of the doubt comes from a simple but powerful fact. There is no direct verifiable evidence from the time Jesus was said to have lived. We have no writings from his own hand, no mentions of him in contemporary Roman or Jewish records, and no archaeological discoveries like coins or inscriptions that can be definitively linked to him. This is a significant silence. While it is true that many common people from antiquity left no trace, Jesus was supposedly a figure of great public notoriety, a man who caused such a stir that it led to his public execution. The complete absence of any contemporary non-Christian record of his life is what fuels the skepticism. This lack of immediate evidence makes the quest for the historical Jesus a difficult and fascinating puzzle. Unlike figures such as Julius Caesar, who left behind his own writings and was documented by many historians of his time, Jesus is a phantom in the historical record of his own era. The argument that he was just a humble peasant and therefore wouldn't be recorded doesn't fully hold up if we accept the gospel accounts of his fame and impact. Therefore, investigators must turn to the sources that do exist, which were all written decades later, and critically analyze whether they are reliable accounts of a real person or the foundational texts of a new myth.